best game. You gotta shoot them in the face, and then they die. So here we go into Agent Select. What will be our game in front of us? Will it be that Tejo deadlock? Will it be the tried and true? What are they in store for us?
So recently, we've been seeing a couple teams in VRS run that double Sentinel. And they like to play that with the Vice and the Chamber. Running that might be seeing today, but no. But both teams do look to lock in that Vice, which I do genuinely believe is the strongest Sentinel right now. Whether or not it's going to be that Steel Garden, which is a extremely strong ult when not seen coming in that pre-round, or whether or not it is going to be those vines that can deal so much damage in such short amount of time. That burst is phenomenal. It seems like both teams still just hovering it. The side of K9 Unit, they're really deciding on whether or not they do want to confirm that pick for this match number 1. But as we know, this map 1, this is where the momentum starts. And if you can't win here, it's very likely you won't be able to win. Retired Goats running the Fnatic comp on Pearl. We usually seen this on things like Haven, but I don't hate this one either, because especially on that B site, it can be really strong to get an ISO ult in backside. It clears that completely, and if you have that Yoru TP with that gate crash available, it allows you to get back there, and even if your ISO loses the 1v1, you're still able to trade them instantly. Retired Goats, they are locking in that Clove as well, which I think is interesting because the range of the smoke is not as good as one would like. Meanwhile, K9 Unit going to lock in that universal smokes where you can put that anywhere on the map, no matter your position.
I mean, that does showcase to us what the general game plans are for these two teams, right? K9 Unit maybe going to be a little bit more meticulous with it, try and piece away parts of the map and then get themselves to a post plant where they can utilize that Astra. On the other side, Retired Goat's going to be looking more like that VCL team, Rankers, now Envy, where they're playing that scrappier style, just trying to force these fights over and over and over, especially with this Clove. Smokes after death, you're going to see them most likely lurking towards that mid area, so should be fun, to say the least. Both teams have not won their match yet in this series and in this tournament, so we wish them both the best. The game goes away.
I love how you can... I love that analysis that, like, we're gonna be assuming these teams are gonna be playing completely different styles, even though they only have one different agent, but because that's what it is. This Clove and Astra have completely different playstyles when it comes to how you pilot the agent. Astra, you want to stay back a little bit more just to make sure you get the most out of your gravity wells and your smokes. Meanwhile, things like the Clove, you want to go in aggressive because even if you die, you can still find value for the team. Retired Goats, they're going to show a lot of A main presence off the bat, and meanwhile, we see K9 Unit putting a lot of players up towards mid, trying to work up, and it seems like they might get pinched a little bit.
Is that a footstep? It might have been. Gizmo going to swing in a bit early here towards water. Will not lose their life, but will take a decent amount of damage. And this net strat seems to be good for Retired Goats, but now for K9 Unit, they're going to have to expand out somewhere. It's going to be Ospas here looking for some way, some inkling into this round to get them the advantage. It's not acquired just yet, so pivot to B will come through. The ball is going to have to be baited from the Vice. The shear still very much prevalent in this round and still being stalled out.
Oh, there's Zanks, though. Able to get the first pick. Retired Goats going to be up on the advantage. However, with so many players peeking out, Austin Air finding that second pick to really shut down K9 Units on their lurks, and there's still going to be 2 players over towards A Link trying to get through Art, but it seems like they want to maneuver around, potentially not even... Oh, no, they will be going into the site, which might lead to their downfall since they will be pincered from all around, but this ISO having people on their back and front, they will have a little bit to worry about.
Yeah, the bomb going to be tapped here. Spam fire in from main reveals at least a position, but the bomb not going down yet, so somebody's just going to run into the smoke now. There's no time if played properly, and it is indeed Zanks with 3 on the go. Snowing left alone, and it won't be enough. A 1v4 would be a miracle in this round, and it will not come to fruition. It's Retired Goats to take the pistol.
Retired Goats putting up a really strong performance, not really contesting K9 Unit for that mid presence, instead just kind of controlling the extremities and taking some really good fights. Austin Air especially able to shut down Unit, who was playing extremely aggressively towards the water. And after that, it really just led to K9 Units. They did not have their flank, And after that, it was just retired goats able to enclose them onto that A site, and it led to a downfall. Now coming into round number 2, it will be a similar situation, I would assume, but we'll have to wait and see if there is any pushback from K9 Unit.
Yeah, weaker weaponry going to be tough to really muscle your way on site, so you may just be looking for an opening. They at least take a main, and that's something to escape with, but now you can't quite run into the A site. They are just going to set their sights elsewhere as mid gets cleared out with a drone as well. You're going to see the jump spot towards B long, and Zanks holding this with an outlaw. Very, very deadly. One shot to the body. Will it come through the star to push them off the angle? And so they escape with their lives for at least a moment. One shot whizzes on by, but just damage dealt to the ISO instead of a body on the floor. Meanwhile, hello, there's a fight going on A. Everybody just trying to peek around, but this is Eco, guys. You got to group up somewhere.
Lots of aggression. Gizmo trying to find the angle, but Flash does come through. Not able to connect onto Gizmo, and they will just be able to hold the angle. Austin, though, getting that first opening pick onto K9 Unit once more. They were the one to find the second pick last round. This time they will be going a little bit more aggressive, finding that first. And now Zanks TTV, last one on this B site. They do have a little bit of utility remaining from that Vice, but as of now, I don't know if they're going to be able to find everyone. One gets down, they will not reload. Instead, they're looking for more. Light goes down. Not going to be planted just yet, but with 13 seconds, you have to stick it.
Yeah, going to be isolated from the rest of the team as well with that sheer wall up. The Thorns, even that, ticking away. And that smoke's going to fade, but not going to reveal the one player remaining still behind it. It's Zanks with the outlaw to at least claim their victim. And now it's only a matter of time before the crossfire will be broken up. The superior weaponry once again taking its fair dues. It's going to be retired goats to convert on this anti-eco in a flawless fashion.
Retired goats have been so strong, and honestly, Austin Air able to find these early picks has kind of just been a momentum changer for this team, able to breathe that air into the lungs of retired goats, giving everyone on this team that ability to go a little bit stronger, just due to the assists that they're getting from the darts and the just general damage that they find in impact early on in rounds. Despite not being one of the two duelists, they've been time and time again that player to find those early picks. Zanks TTV as well, though, on that outlaw, able to find a lot of kills, shutting down K9 Unit's push onto that B site. Coming into this next round, they're going to be gambling this A site a little bit along with mid. Nobody sticking on B, which might be a misplay since there is 3 people remaining here. Ooh, contract comes out, but it will not connect. And at this point, domain is down, and retired goats are going to be misreading this play a lot. Spike is still not being picked up.
This is the beauty of the Vice setup, is that you can just leave the sheer wall and then rotate onto site as soon as the wall does go up. You'll have at least those rotations in place if you choose to use them. And it looks like there's not going to be too much of a commit. You're going to see this spread out back from K9 Unit. And they'll make some contact with the Vice towards back hall, but there's no real punish set up for this player kind of left alone.
Papa Smurf having some really good intuition and secures the kill.
That's just not supposed to happen. Like, I mean, it's unlucky for the defender there. You also have to realize what potentially is holding you on the other side of that smoke. As for K9 Unit, they'll gladly take that. They'll waltz into this A site free, now losing their B anchor in that kill. Although it might have seemed a little bit silly and goofy, well, it ends up being possibly the reason why K9 Unit escaped with their first round. You're going to see them get on site and then back all the way off. Thanks. With this Stinger in hand, the Astra Star is available. It's going to be scrappy, that's for sure. But what is the play from K9 Unit? It's just going to be to spam. Retired Goats still try their best, but swinging into a closed smoke with all this spam, even with the ping nerfs, it's proving not enough. Gizmo will TP into the entire team and hope for the best. Won't get them much.
Yeah, the manipulations of that rotate over towards the B site really just led to K9 Unit able to gun down everyone from retired Goats, and really was Unit as well, being that main playmaker to stop that push onto site. Before this round, they'd only gotten 1 kill total, but there they were able to really just destroy everyone and left in a really strong fashion. Now coming into round number 4, there's still going to be a good buy from both sides. This Outlaw going to get a little bit less value than one would like, most likely, since they can only one-shot Enzo with that regen shield, and K9 Unit able to get some spotted out players, and oh, that's the aggression, and finds a first, and a second is just to follow.
Enzo now going to be tested here in this art position. The double swing comes through. They're only good for one. And that makes this round that much tougher for Retired Goats. They were up 2-1 in the first place, up 2-0 even before that. But now, maybe on the back foot in this round, hoping for some way back into it, some avenue. I mean, if you're really being picky on that information, you might have been able to notice that Shot Dark did not go all the way back to the wall, so you could have that information if you were really paying attention. But it looks like that Sonar Dart now just going to be the one thing to try and provide that information for this attacking side. K9 unit looking to spread their resources out a bit more, not get crossfired, and it's Papa Smurf with 2 shots on the Outlaw to pick up their first kill of the round. It proves to be enough here as Retired Goats will fall once again.
That's the equalizer. K9 unit able to pick up 2 rounds in a row, ruin the economy for Retired Goats. That's a strong round. The question's now going to be, can they continue it? And I think Papa Smurf having that Outlaw really is going to create a lot of pressure just by existing, because it really forces the side of Retired Goats to question what they're going to peak. And when it comes down to it, that little bit of hesitation instantly will lead you to falling down on the floor. And K9 unit, let's see whether or not they can keep up this lead. They do have that Hunter's Fury online, which obviously is a big tool, and they're going to put up a lot of aggression towards mid, but no sound just yet.
I want to be nitpicky with what the plays are, but as long as they work, they may just be the right ones. It's Austin Air to pick up one towards this mid. A lot of mid-space gain now, and this pinches K9 unit. They have to execute B. There's only a hope that they can land the shots with the rifles, and they do. It's Unit to grab their first kill of this round, make that 3 now total as they find the bullets onto Zanks. Papa Smurf getting in on the action, and everybody doing their part. It's K9 unit as they move up 1 on the board.
Retired Goats, they took the pistol round, but after that they kind of just fell off, and they haven't been able to secure many kills whatsoever, and they have 1 ultimate on the board after K9 unit dropped theirs off Papa Smurf, putting in that Hunter's Fury, able to just get a little bit of pressure onto their opposition. And Retired Goats, they look to potentially go for some more aggression towards B here. I like the idea of the Yoru doing this because they have that gate crash. The ISO maybe not so much, but they will be able to apply that vulnerable effect. Never mind, they do not have that in their arsenal. So let's see what happens here. Okay, Dart's going to come through. It will call them out. That will give them the idea that the fake is going to be that decoy, and they won't even attempt to grab that out. Zanks TTV hiding behind this, and that might be a great play because it allows them to realize that Zanks TTV will most likely not hear, baiting for the Yoru. Zanks finds 1.
Yeah, looking for more, just not going to find it though. Kind of a one and done spot, and you hope for those trades to maybe go your way, but the most you're going to get is that 2 for 2. So now, testing the Odin, Austin Air will do their best, but won't be able to one-tap due to the Odin in the inventory. NMS, unfortunately, not going to find anything either. It's Aspas trying to be a representation of their mirror image in VCT.
Yeah, they definitely are putting up a good performance. Currently 6-3. They have that domain available, and we'll see whether or not they do opt in for it in this round. Obviously, they can drop that in, and K9 unit can potentially be there to pick up that kill if it does go array. And Retired Goats, they've been playing good. They haven't been able to secure many kills, which is a problem. They're going to be on a lower buy once more, and K9 unit is looking to secure even more kills. At this point, though, Retired Goats backing off the site, looking to play a retake, which you've got to give them credit for. I don't know whether or not they're going to really engage here. It seems like they do want to all in on this site. So now, they're just going to sit here.
Yeah, you can tell the Retired Goats even a little bit hesitant of what even they want to do. As you see them kind of post up towards deeper in B main and then retreat back, try and silent stack here. Might be valuable for the kills, but that's going to get sniffed out by this Dimensional Drift used early here. Kill contract. It is going to be used as well. Will not tag on to the ISO at least, but it may find somebody else. Aspas will get Gizmo over in that street, that corner area, and you see Austin Air as well going down towards street once again. This could be a pivot if they want to do so, and it looks like they are going to choose that second option. It just comes down to this kill right now, and NMS good for at least the share of shots. And now you have to start to second guess. Think, okay, where do we want to go now? B, we know there's going to be at least 2 players there. But if we have to go back all the way to the other side, we're going to need to re-clear all of this space. They're opting to just go in there like swimwear. It's Unit who actually gets punished for it. And the share of shots, well, they land, but only on the body, not going to grab these kills right away. It's a nice swing out by Ozpos, and good for that kill they will be as well, making it just 1 MS. Sheriff kill prior in this round, now looking to maybe sneak away a few more using this very wide ledge. Doesn't quite spot the gun barrel, was on their screen, but now jumping, it's Ozpos to take this round 1 more. It's K9 Unit that cannot lose a rifle round.
K9 Unit has just been on the front foot ever since that pistol round ended. Retired Goats. They have 3 ultimates in hand. They want to drop these, but as of now, this is not the round that Retired Goats want to be on, because they have a good buy, but unfortunately, K9 Unit, Tonka especially, having that ultimate up, that's going to limit the versatility of these items, only forcing them to be able to drop out with shorties, and based off of the low economy that Retired Goats has, I'd have to imagine that they don't have a lot of money to spend on lower weaponry like a Ghost or a Shorty for that close range engagement, and Gizmo secures the first pick, able to get a little bit of a diff. Retired Goats are on the front foot, but as of now, K9 Unit still has not really been shown too much.
I mean, they're peeking in front of their steel garden. Yeah, those mistakes should be punished, but Tonka gonna try and make up for it. No, it's the op that retrieves itself from water, proving that there are very much still chances for K9 Unit to win this round. And they will have to leave their positioning from the street, leaving just 1 player now over towards the B site for the attackers, but they'll try their best. They'll try and buy time. Papa Smurf, unfortunately, though, gets dinked through the wall. And now you have to worry. You might just have to opt for the safe plant, but even that's not on the cards. So Gizmo will take you down. This operator being a very big wild card in this map, at least in this round so far. May continue to do so as Gizmo with the 4th says, hello, we are here to play. Don't forget about us.
Gizmo really did put in the heavy lifting that round, able to secure a 3rd for Retired Goats. After the pistol, it looked like they were down and out. However, they're showing signs of life, and they're able to pick up a round. 4 ultimates on the table, and they do have that op still in hand. So Gizmo, they will buy one of their teammates, making it so I don't believe unless NMS will buy them, they won't have an operator if they lose this round. So I'm hoping that K9 Unit can keep this competitive, take another one, make Retired Goats start to really find a new plan, except for just we have op, we go kill. But we'll have to wait and see, because after they shut down the duelist of K9 Unit, it seemed as if Retired Goats had just kind of found the round in general, and there wasn't anybody to step up and take that entry position like what you would expect.
The shield broken now, the suppression being used as well as that vulnerable, and now you see the Astral Wall, the Cosmic Divide being used early in. This is a fake. This is going to draw in all these rotates, but there's a swing on past it. You're going to know that this is a ruse, and as you see past the ruse here, the glow of smoke, you will actually send all those rotations back over towards the other side. NMS now going to be the one that is tested on this site, but still a timing for Austin Air to maybe strike back. No. And at this point, K9 Unit, they have to realize, hey, this is going to be an execute that's going to be contested, but we have to speed up anyway. We have to go for the best. And it's going to be past that sheer wall. That is the first move. Ozpos sticking with the bomb plant. Hunter's Fury invested here as well. Kill contract available will be used. And Austin Air finds one with this Hunter's Fury, making it that much more doable. Losing in the kill contract is Ozpos, though, so a lot more doable for these Retired Goats on the defense. Dimensional Drift to spot out one, maybe the second few players. They're going to assume they're both arc because they actually did not see that Yoru. And oh my gosh, no way does this actually happen. Snowing blinded up at a 1v3. Now going to need to be salvaged from Art. Won't be able to do that. And so Retired Goats, they bounce on back and bring this map within 1.
Going to be a 4-5 situation. And Retired Goats, they're looking to keep this momentum. This is 2 in a row, and they will be able to keep this operator in hand. Unfortunately for the side of K9 Unit, their economy is starting to run dry. Papa Smurf, not going to have enough money for a full buy. However, I believe Snowing will have enough money to keep them afloat for just 1 more round. Never mind. They will not. Oh, yeah, they will. They just have to buy regen shields for that.
It's a much better look, though, in these past few rounds for retired goats. I mean, do you see anything that they're doing that's majorly different?
Not really. I feel like they're just kind of going for the same thing of like, we make presence B, maybe we put some aggression A, but I mean, this is kind of the name of the map you want to play for B control and then just go long, but it seems like Retired Goats has just been so good at just continuously stopping it, especially with Zanks TV, who has just been the real playmaker for this team.
Yeah, and now somebody else maybe going to need to step up to the plate. It looks like maybe potentially Enzo. Gizmo will find one with a shorty, but now just down to one player for this K9 unit side. It's Tonka, and even they're herd over towards mid. Crosshair not quite looking in the right direction as maybe a glance at the mini-map comes through. It'll be Retired Goats to tie this game up, and K9 unit could maybe benefit from a timeout here.
Yeah, equalizer has been found in K9 unit. I think that would have been the time to call a timeout. There's only 2 rounds remaining in the half, but I guess they just want to try and brute force their way in. Maybe try and go for something that isn't a B hit. I think that fighting Zanks TTV or Gizmo isn't going to end out well for you. You know that they've been kind of swapping turns, playing on this B side, so it is going to be rough, but we'll see how they do approach the round. It does seem like mid-presence is the name of the game. This worked for them, and a bit of the game didn't really do a lot at the start, but started working towards the middle. But at this point, Zanks TTV finding a double, going to be finally shut down, and they're already on the back foot.
Yeah, 4v2. I mean, what more can you do here? Enzo will invest the not dead yet just to secure their chances in this round, but even that disappears, and a beautiful jiggle from Papa Smurf. We'll say, I'll sit you down, son. You'll have to learn from this one next time. And now a 1v1. Both players left to just scamper on around. Hunter's Fury available as well, so you're going to see most likely Papa Smurf extend to a longer angle, but no. Decides, hey, that's what NMS is going to expect. I'm going to go all the way into spawn, make you second guess yourself, and potentially we will see this timing go wrong for either player, but most likely the tap will be the first step of this game. Just a few more seconds, and NMS will show their hand. It's a tap onto the bomb. Player knows that it's being stuck, and now he's going to have to spam. Wait, do they have the timing? Yes, they do! They end up squeaking around the corner, just barely, and Papa Smurf will luckily keep that one for themselves.
So, I don't know if the range was just out, but that was a weak smoke from Retired Goat. They allowed it so that they knew that the bomb was being halved, and the smoke just barely covered them, so it just gave them a situation where, okay, we know that they have to be diffusing, and this smoke isn't covering a lot, so they just sprayed and were able to hit that concise headshot just to start us off. K9 unit, they are going to take the advantage once more at 6-5, and let's see whether or not they can extend this to a 7-5 half, or whether or not Retired Goats can bring back the momentum that they slightly lost in the previous round.
A lot of respect being shown, though, over towards this B side, right? You know, you don't want to face the operator there, so this hit looks like it's going to come towards A relatively. The Odin. Oh my, it's just a good old Everest Jonas combo. Using those 2 ultimates to provide the information for yourselves and brawl it on out. NMS will be left back sight here, but with 4 players staring at them, not going to be an ideal scenario. Steel Garden, though, kill contract as well. Everybody trying to flood into this site, and Zanks will at least be good for theirs. Make that Enzo as well. The site fully cleared now, and this is certainly doable for Retired Goats to come on back in. It's not the best of plans, but they still will get pulled off the bomb. No half just quite yet. Where is the spam? Where is it going to come through? This player's sticking. You gotta do something about it. And they just do not. It's 6-6 on the half. We thought K9 unit would have this in pretty confidently, but instead Retired Goats, they find a way.
It really was just based off of Aspas and unit dominations. Papa Smurf as well, putting up a strong performance. It looked like Retired Goats just could not get around the fact that, I mean, they just looked so strong towards that mid game, and I think at this point, Unit is definitely going to be the team to beat. So Retired Goats showing a lot of pushback at the end, though, especially with Gizmo on the op. Now that they're on the attacking side, however, that operator is going to fall off in strength significantly. You're going to be forced to hit that B site time and time again, and it really does require K9 Unit to push out and really take that aggression against you for you to be able to get good op shots off.
Just narrowly gonna dodge that dart, so looks like the A orb will be claimed by Unit. You're now on the defense, of course. And it looks like, obviously with no Vice over towards this B side, it is just going to be... Oh, I lied. The wall is still going to be there. And it actually separates off the Clove, just barely stalling it out a bit more. But NMS finds two in mid, just a timing where they land the shots. The Retired Goats, as long as they speed up, they should just have anywhere they want to take. But you can't go down a snowing here. You need to at least hold on to your numbers advantage, and they will do at least that. Clear down out the mid, sure. But a 4v3, much difficult for this defensive side. They'll now have to kind of just hope to go in with this very little utility that they have.
4v3 situation, a mountain to hurdle, Retired Goats. They're playing back towards main and back site. See K9 Unit can take a little bit of engagement. Enzo to be able to hit them from behind. Getting the snowing though. Jump shot comes through. Papa Smurf last one alive. Finds one, finds a second, but it's just not enough. It looked like they had something there, but unfortunately, it's going to be K9 Unit faltering once more and Retired Goats to really start this pushback and take the next pistol round of the half.
I'm just curious, right? Like, if we look at, like, the scoreboard, that little section in between where you can see all the rounds strung together, it was 5 straight for K9 Unit, and now it's essentially 5 of the last 6 for Retired Goats. Is this just a game where both of these teams are very much based on momentum? If you had to kind of take this map 1 and put it in the grand scheme of things with this best of 3, is it that the team that ends up winning this map is just going to take it 2-0? Or do you think it is going to be back and forth for the entire series?
I mean, I imagine that this is going to be a 2-1. I'm not totally sure which team picked which at this point, but I think that if K9 Unit picked this map, then yeah, I definitely favor Retired Goats because of how well they're looking on these pistol rounds. And Unit, they are going to be able to go back site, not going to be faked out by the decoy, instead going to pick up the fallen compadre's weapon, and let's see what they can do. And, oh, on the flank.
NMS has always just ended up in the right spot at the right time. Now, Unit will at least pick up one with the Outlaw, but they saw the players escaping from the B main side, so you're going to see everybody and their mother from both sides sprint over to the A. Hopefully, for K9 Unit, they'll find themselves at least a few more kills doing what they can on this eco buy, but it's going to be tough. Retired Goats, they'll have to just kind of hit this site, hope for the best, and Unit's already here. They have a chance to take you down with the Outlaw. Whiffs both shots, though. At least tags one, but now, no kills confirmed. Tonka instead, tanking it out, waiting for these shots to come through, and now both players very, very low. Right clicks will take each one down, but it doesn't matter if you can't even get the first. Enzo just barely sneaks by for Retired Goats to get their 8th.
This was the pick of K9 Unit map-wise, so for them to be on the back foot, it is a little bit unfortunate, but that is just because of 4 pistol round wins, basically. That's half of their overall wins, so K9 Unit, they definitely still have opportunities to win this map, but right now, they have to start it out with this bonus. If you can't convert this, it's going to be extremely difficult to convert this map, especially with the fact that the side of K9 Unit, the side of Retired Goats is not investing into this round whatsoever. Instead, they're just going to play with minimal weapons and try to get a couple kills off the board.
Sheriff here is going to spot out one player with the drone. We'll bait out that rotate. And you see K9 Unit actually grabbing a lot of space into these early rounds. Even a pick here or there, but they just can't quite push their advantage, especially not in this one, as the Sheriff duel will go the way of NMS. Retired Goats once again making it just that little bit easier for themselves. Osmos, though, and company rotating over towards this A main space. They want to clear it out. They want to contact, and why not when you have somebody like an ISO that can just get that information in wide swing and hope for the best. Retired Goats, though, just going to slow it down a bit more. They have the Not Dead Yet available for the Clove, so they're pretty much free to make any play they want.
Retired Goats have a lot of players looking to move towards mid-side, and they're just going to deathball here by the looks of it, but they will be doing that extremely silently, trying to minimize noise as much as possible. With how cut off that audio will be, and on Unit, they have no real reads. 2 players stacked over towards A main, along with one towards B main, which could possibly cause a little bit of a detriment, but as of now at least, K9 units will finally be able to detect the site, and players, we can see on the minimap, they're starting to flock over towards the B site, but Tonka still not seen, but they might have been called out, but no. Tonka finds the first, looking to secure the second, able to do it. Third, trying to get connected, but the bullets just go towards the body.
Yeah, now a 2v3 forces out the dimensional drift here for the defenses. They want to just confirm this round, but it's not the easiest to do so. Trying to body block, trying to stun, trying to flash everything. Enzo is blind as a bat, but still trucking for the moment. And now 2 players to beat, won't even get the first yet. Uses the ultimate to try and escape around the corner, but it's just the right click to take you down just like that. Unit with the final kill, and K9 unit now up to 7.
That's gonna do it. K9 unit putting themselves back into contention for this map, and if you win this, that's definitely gonna be favorable because you are going to your opponent's map pick right after this, but their ultimates are looking good as well. With Snowing about to have that Cosmic Divide online, that might mean that you want to try and just play complete retake and go for that bomb afterwards, but you would at least want to get a little bit of engagement before that, and we'll see what is going to be the plan from Retired Goats. Obviously, they do control the momentum as the attacking half will commence, but a lot of players stacking towards this B site from K9 unit. Seems like they want to play really aggressive here, which it will be seen out by 2 from the side of Retired Goats potentially, but as of now, they're not actually going to be playing very aggressive. Instead, just kind of holding these positions, waiting for the side of K9 unit to, or Retired Goats, to make their mark and peek through main.
Beautiful read here. You're going to have that Vice Wall up towards B. You have them in space. You have both players spotting Art and that street side. So now everybody runs it down A main. Wait a minute. That's not a piece of the puzzle you're expecting. You're supposed to just hold on to A. Hold with the stack site. Papa Smurf, though, pops to the shorty. Snowing at least will rain these hail of bullets from the heavens. Snowing has to be good for a few more in order to keep their hopes alive. We'll do so. That's 3 for them on the round. Needing just a few more to save their side, to save their team. Tonka, though, unfortunately, just the classic, just the judge. And Enzo will clean this round up. It looked good, then it looked real bad, and then it looked okay.
Snowing there, though, really putting the team in a good spot. Unfortunately, after a 3K from Snowing, I think K9 unit has really realized something's wrong. We need a change because we should have been able to win that round. I mean, a 3K looked so good, but unfortunately, it was Retired Goat who was able to call them out at the start of the round when 2 players from K9 unit just started barking up main and got instantly called out behind the box. It led to Retired Goats being able to secure a 3v5 situation, and now they have some momentum. And as we said previously, I know you stated this might just be a momentum-based map for us.
It's just such a shame. You have 3-4 players on that A site. You can do any play you want. Instead, you send 2 up A main, not even flashing around the corner, just the ISO double tap. So big sign saying, hey, we are swinging you in this A main area. And they get punished for it. Retired Goats, they didn't really have to make a play here or there. They just needed to shoot them with the bullets, press lift click. And, well, it worked out for them. Retired Goats have been pretty solid on the gunplay, I would say. And K9 unit, I think they just need to kind of think a bit more, right? Don't overcook it, but just realize what information is being given to you from the other side and deal with it accordingly.
Just to recap for those of you who have not tuned in to game number 1 here, Retired Goats K9 unit, they're fighting for that number 2 spot, that place in that finale. But even if you just make it to the finals, you will automatically secure yourselves a $250 check to your team. So that's already going to put up the stakes for both of these rosters. Meanwhile, the winner of that game in the grand finals will receive that $750 prize. That's very coveted by both these teams because these are that number 2 and number 6 seeded teams. So this really is that match that you have to want to win, and you're kind of desperate to be able to close it out now and here, because if not, you're gonna be in deep trouble.
This one, of course, a best of 3, so not everything on the line, just this map, but it would be nice to have some sort of advantage. It's going to be Papa Smurf here with the Sheriff. We've seen them be clean with it earlier, but looks like they're not even going to be given a chance to use it, as it's Gizmo that just immediately takes their head off and then runs into sight, using their ultimate to clear out all this space. I mean, this should just be around. K9 unit has no chance at, right? Like, I don't want to curse it, but, like, they've got sheriffs, they got class 6s. It's about how much damage they can do at this point.
Pass, double tap runs out. No more chances for them to be able to connect headshots and benefit from it. Snowing. With only a classic in hand, they want to get something, but Austin Air to get the first. Looking to get something more, and they will. Enzo to secure the second. Snowing goes in with classic, secures one, but they're just going to be able to get that one miracle and fall. Tonka, last player alive. They pick up a sheriff. They want to be able to die to get that extra money, and it's going to be Gizmo breaking their legs and throwing off their aim, but the retired goats secure double digits.
I believe they call that one the crab peak. Not quite sure. Just bouncing around, looking like a crab. Either way, retired goats looking quite strong here. What is that? 8-2 in the last 10 rounds for them. Pretty good. 2 ults on the board, 3 ults for their opponents, but we want to see these clear game plans from the defense. And every sort of initial aggression they make, it never seems to work. So maybe they're just choosing the wrong timings.
Currently retired goats. They want to play towards A, which the gate crash coming in from K9 unit, sorry. This could become really volatile. Owl drone comes out instantly broken, and Zanks to peek. No double tap implied, and because of that, they will fall. A bit of a misplay from them, and that will allow the side of K9 unit to really be confident in this round. Papa Smurf trying to attach some hits with the Hunter's Fury. Not really going to be able to find too much from it, and both sides just going to concede the fight, and, you know, Ashbash trying to keep a little bit of pressure, but they won't be able to find much. Austin Air re-peeking with full HP, and no kills come out just yet.
Crucial part of this game plan for retired goats being NMS on these lurks. And just not able to find one here means that the chance is very slim. Papa Smurf will take it down, Enzo. And one more round for K9 unit. But I think that's off of retired goats, maybe overcooking it, maybe just being a bit too occupied with that B main space.
Currently retired goats, they don't have a ton of money for some of their players. Austin Air going to have to be bought, which will lead to a bit of a deficit, but it is a situation where K9 units, they are in a similar boat, but their economy is looking definitely better. Tonka with the judge, going to be playing that up towards mid. Nobody remaining on the B site to try and contest, so retired goats, they will be able to find this for free as for now. Maybe somebody will rotate over and potentially start to cause a little bit of a ruckus, but K9 units, they do seem to just be playing for the retake.
And last time we saw this setup from K9 unit, it was the 1-4 stack towards A, where they initially pushed up after they had that all information available. And they just kind of threw away their numbers. Now, at least, you see the pivots towards B. The rotates might have been shifted, sure, but everybody's still holding at least some of the space. You have at least everybody in a particular way that they need to be holding. Aspas, the suppression comes through, the kill contract as well. All right, Gulag time. Who's good for it? It's Zanks. ISO versus ISO. And, well, ISO will always win, I guess. Steel Garden being used here in this round as well. Making the classic fight on site very doable, but Enzo will win it out. Once again, trying to revive themselves, but the classic now going to be punished. One flash, spots out one player. 17 bullets, looking for a kill, but just trying to burn this time. It's the operator still in this picture, the flash as well, but you're going to need to have some beautiful aim here. Some plan of attack to defuse this bomb. And walking into the crosshairs, that's not exactly the best plan. Now just having to deal with the op, the jiggles, everything. The peak before even the smoke goes down, and it's just like clockwork. The protocols tested and tried to be true. It's retired goats with 11.
Retired goats now able to leverage this lead. One round away from that match point. Once you get to that, it really is going to become just a race to close it out. 4 more attempts after that, but as of now, there is still the K9 unit, and they have chances, 2 remaining, to be honest, but let's see whether or not they can be able to collect those 4 rounds minimum to bring it to overtime. Maybe 5 if you're really feeling lucky, but as of now, retired goats going for some more mid presence, trying to make their way up, but over on the side of K9 unit, they will be starting to work their way up towards A main. Now with the ISO still planted over towards main, they want to try and find some engagements, but it's really going to be that mid presence you've got to worry about if you are K9 unit. And they're going to be controlling this relatively well with the Astra, Sova, and Yoru, all three going to be minimizing any type of aggression from the side of Retired Goats. However, it's going to be Art that is the real game plan from the side of Retired Goats. We see the Vice that is playing towards main, and that might cause an engagement over with some players there, but as of now, there's just so many people starting to go towards Art, and just on the other side of mid, it really is the exact same situation.
Maybe taking a bit too long. 3 players coming out from street. I mean, oh boy, this is just going to be a pinch for the Aegis. The timing missed, though, so now these players are aware. Tonka could be caught with util out. The clone, though, used. Ospas with their one. And it's just a bloodbath. Everybody funneled into the same point. And Art now painted with the red blood of the Retired Goats players.
This point, Retired Goats, they are not in the best situation. Their economy is going to be lower than they would like, buying up a couple of sheriffs and a stinger with 1 rifle in hand. That's the hero rifle, NMS. This is a player that has been able to get value time and time again, but the question now becomes, will they be able to do it here? A little bit of a misplay from Retired Goats in the previous round, able to be stomped upon and kind of just swiftly taken out. But K9 unit, they still have more to go, but they want to play really aggressive once more. If they can input players here time and time again, able to really find their way up, and it could work well, but it really has to start now. And Retired Goats putting up the smoke, able to recall it instantly though, and Owl Drone to come out, able to find some value, vulnerable to apply, and that's the complete just gun spray to come down, and there's no congestion. But finally, K9 or unit will be able to find one, and Smurf to follow up with the second.
Yeah, a lot of this fire looking so good from both of these sides, but eventually its chip damage will be enough. It's Papa Smurf with 3, and now Austin Air. We talked about them needing to get to 12 here. They're only going to get 1 kill, and just sneaking on back in is K9 unit. You give them an inch, they will most certainly take a mile.
K9 unit really showing why this was their map pick, and I mean, at this point, I think that Retired Goats, they need to start playing a little bit more carefully. They need to be decisive when it comes to winning out, because NMS, they did buy a rifle here, so their economy will not allow them to purchase a second, and they will be forced onto a sheriff. I believe they're going to be going for another lurk. We do not see the same situation from K9 unit, though. They're switching up their play, and I think this is a great read from them. They realize the fact that their opponents have been getting stomped in A main, so now they're going to be starting to work up towards B. The Owl Drone's going to be able to call them out, and okay, the clone is going to be expended, but right now that's not a lot of utility exhausted from the side of Retired Goats compared to what K9 unit has delivered just to be able to push up. But K9 unit, so aggressive. Unit finds the first. Gizmo not able to really find that one, and they will be shut down. Papa Smurf finds their death, and Zanks to be shut down next. It's a little bit of an ISO diff with Aspas getting the kill. Double Tap still alive, but it's a 2v3 right now, and you might need to rely on that flank.
Yeah, the slurk coming in, but spotted. Tonka, it's going to be the battle of the buys. Tonka will be victorious. All of that first initial contact could have been avoided with, guess what, an Astra. But no, you got a Clove, you smoke it a little bit later, instead of just pulling that star, recalling it. Instead, Retired Goats now going to be at that numbers disadvantage because of how they chose at the beginning of this game. Might just be the call to save here.
30 seconds
Both
left.
players not exactly the antsiest to try and maybe lurk around the map, find one player, and maybe get themselves caught out by 2. K9 unit, good looks here.
Being really aggressive. No time on the clock, and it will lead to an equalized
10
game.
seconds left.
K9 unit able to get this to 11-11. Retired Goats saving 2 rifles to go into this round this will lead to one team able to take match point, but the question now becomes which will be the one to hit the punch and find it. Now, if you're a betting man, K9 unit is the one to bet on. They have gained momentum, and they have gained the economic advantage with K9 unit having their operator. But as a man who has seen time and time again Retired Goats show some promise, they were able to upset the number 3 seed to get here. It does kind of question, will they be able to do it? Will they be able to create another upset to shut down the number 2 seed?
I mean, it's only poetic if you can fully finish the story, right? You can't just have half a poem, so for Retired Goats, you're going to want to get all the way to the end. It'll be snowing here. 2 players actually spotted out. They'll see the Yoru as well with that owl drone. So back they go, realizing the scenario and the double extension from those 2 A main players. Well, it's good for pressure, but now nobody really has any sort of space. It's all just question marks in that neutral areas of the map.
Retired Goats, they're going with their tried and true, looking to make presence up towards mid. Utility from the Vice going to be destroyed. Razorvine down, taking a little bit of damage. Too much to handle, and Tonka forced to concede the fight. Backing off, looking to take control over Connector, but at such a low HP, they're going to be called out. Sheer activated. That will lead them to be forced out of mid presence entirely.
But this is perfect, right? This is like exactly what we saw towards Pistol. The net strat. We're going to let them do whatever they want to in mid, and then we're going to just take them out when they try and execute onto a site. Now, of course, this all comes down to the first kill towards A main. You can't exactly make your move until you have that space, but here we go. It looks like they are going to try and gamble for it. The wide swing comes through. Ospas is good for it, and now this becomes a death trap. Now it becomes a pinch. K9 unit, maybe with their hands full, maybe not. Either way, Papa Smurf looking for that one extra bullet to land through the wall. It's not going to just quite yet. Sonar Dart providing for maybe an additional bit more of spam. The Dimensional Drift runs out. The gun, though, does not pull out in time, and so you will have K9 unit being the ones with the advantage, with the round, and now on map point.
Oh, that is so unfortunate. K9 unit taken down to the dirt, but they will receive their win, and they come out unscathed at the end of the tunnel. It was a nasty fight where anybody could have won it, but unfortunately for the side of Retired Goats, despite the start of this half going extremely well for them, taking this to a 10-7 lead. They fell down and they could not get back up. K9 unit, they've retrieved the lead that they once gained at 5-2, and they're looking to close it out here. But with 2 ults on the board, I think it is more than possible that K9 unit can do it. Aggression coming out from the unit once more, and they do have that gate crash available to lean back on, as well as an operator to be that lean to really be able to lean them in the favor of this game. Shut down the side of Retired Goats before this gets into an overtime position, and the question's going to be, will they be able to find it? Smoke comes out, but oh, that was nuts!
That's a beautiful play. I mean, you recall the star, the op just got on the angle, and now, sure, Papa Smurf with the Outlaw is going to have to back up and has maybe no bullets in this Outlaw. Nope, did get the reload off, so
that's tragic.
What do you got in store? The answer, not much, because you'd have to break the shield and land the headshot. Best of luck with that. K9 unit, though, will land their shot as the op. Just good for the body. Snowing will pick up their one as well, and just like that, everybody falling down. Somehow this is just down to Zanks. That ISO shield dissipating now makes it even tougher for them. They'll have to land the shots onto both, and it won't even be one. It's snowing to close out the map for K9 unit, and they will very much take map 1.
That really was just on the back of unit to be able to secure that round win at the very end there. Doing the heavy lifting for the side of K9 unit. Look at that, 4 first bloods. They were that activation along with Aspas. Both of them working hand in hand. Zanks doing some good stuff on the defensive half. Unfortunately, when it came to the attacking side, they did fall off a little